Hey guys, it is the 5th of September, getting colder now, finally. And we are already actually in the last part of our summer 2020 anime reviews, which is surprising, except not really if you guys sort of know what's been going on with the recent anime trends, what's been happening with the companies because of COVID, so on and so forth. So this is already again the last part of our summer seasons. We usually have 5 episodes worth of reviews, maybe sometimes even some extra episodes or whatever. But this time we only had like 2, 3. So we'll be going into a preview for for the fall 2020 season next episode, which will be again in 2 weeks. So that'll be pretty interesting. I believe how many are there? Are there like 13 as per usual in this environment or what? There's like I believe there's probably only going to be like 13 to 17 as per usual. It's probably not going to get back up to the usual like 37 to 44 or 45 that we have until
Yeah.
probably next year. But yeah, this is the last summer review episode, and it is episode 152 of 4-Player Animecast. I am your host, Spire. Energetic, sort of, not really. I haven't eaten today. I have this protein shake right next to me, and I need to down it, but I'm going to be doing that while helping everybody through this podcast. But without further ado, here are my compatriots: Near,
Hey.
Dark,
Hello.
and of course, Toast.
What?
Toast is here. He unfortunately had a little bit of I believe like formatting stuff going on with
I
his
wiped my
computer.
hard drive.
Yeah. He had wiped his hard drive and he has to kind
I
of download
I
this and
lost
that.
all my sweet meme pictures. I'm sorry.
Are you
I'm
did you
gonna
format it to like just clean up your computer or what, or did something happen?
I reinstalled Windows.
Okay. So he was cleaning up a little bit. So but yeah, everybody's more or less safe and sound, and that's pretty much all I could ever ask for, at least. And we'll get right into it. Again, I do want to say that we kind of did cover a lot of the very, very big series, like most
Did we?
notably Decades and stuff like that, in the last episode.
Are
So
you
this
sure about
episode is
that,
going to be a little
Spire?
bit of. Yes, I'm pretty sure about that. I'm
Did you
pretty sure about that.
did you see the top 10 anime of the week listing that I sent that I posted?
No, I don't
Check
believe
it out.
you can send it to me via.
I sent it in the. Why don't you check it
Oh
out?
my god! I just want to. Okay, I'll read this later. I'll actually read this later. But
The only show
that's
on
pretty
there
funny.
is Nears.
Yeah. But yeah, we covered. Hey guys, yeah, we covered Decadence and we covered God of High School and we covered what is it? Kanojo
Rent a girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly. Rent a Girlfriend. So those are like the 3 sort of big hitters. I don't want to say God of High School is a big hitter, but it is. It's quite popular.
Spoiler:
So
Rent a Girlfriend still sucks, even in the manga right now.
surprise. But yeah, we'll just go on right ahead. And first off, again, very good for Toast to be able to join us. What do you have for us?
What?
Actually, wait. Sorry. We need to cover what we each did the last 2 weeks, right?
This guy's moving a million miles a minute.
I apologize. I have made a horrible mistake as
This
an
guy's
MC.
living in 2022.
Yeah, I've made a horrible mistake as an MC. I should be covering what we did these past 2 weeks. I'll go first. I've Things have slowed down for me in real life. I've been, doing pretty stable stuff. I've been, working
How's
out
your
my
diet,
pace.
Fire?
What?
How's your diet?
My diet has been pretty. I mean, I've always been okay about like counting calories and kind of um, keeping my weight within reasonable limits, even if I don't have a scale. I do have a scale now, but I almost want to do a call out on this. But the company that freaking sent me this scale, the weighing scale, right, or whatever. I opened the box. Okay, the scale's there. I'm like, okay. I put it in the bathroom and I stepped on it. There was no battery. There were no batteries in there. I was like, why? It's a scale. Just send me the freaking batteries. Just
Batteries not
smash through
included.
the
Yeah,
battery.
dude, it's like toys,
Batteries
bro.
not included.
Batteries not included.
Oh my god. So I'm literally just like, is this like not sensitive? Then later on, I
This
just found
guy
out I
should
need to
have
put
just
a
bought an
battery.
analog scale, bro.
Yeah. So tomorrow I'm gonna have to go out and just go to Walmart and buy some AAA batteries there to get my scale. But once my scale is working, it'll be pretty smooth sailing. Other than that, I haven't been. Everything again has been pretty smooth for me. I've been getting back into a little bit more regular stuff in terms of, um, whether it's working on my hobbies, translations, working out, playing music, whatever. I've been trying to. Okay, the thing is, I've been trying to get more into. I don't know whether I should just give up on Kamino Rhapsody. Kamino Rhapsody, for those of you guys who don't know, is one of the newer games, more recent games that have been a visual novel slash sort of RPG, dungeon crawl RPG, that have been released by the infamous Ayushili Studios. Ayushili being known mostly for their work on Kamidori Alchemy Meister, which is also a very similar visual novel and RPG hybrid. And I've been playing it, but there's like a lot of sort of nitpicks that I have about the game that kind of make me not want to really play it. And I just want to go on to another visual novel. But I always feel like with these sorts of like dungeon crawlers and visual novels and stuff like that, like dungeon crawler visual novel hybrids, whether it's this or AU Senki, right? Where it's like if I just do or AU Senki isn't like a dungeon crawler. It's like a strategy like tactic simulator or whatever it is, right? Um, but I keep thinking like if I do a little bit more, if I see one more CG, or if I can access one more CG or one more route, or if I can get this one more girl, it'll be nice. I think it'll be worth it. I keep thinking that, but then it just keeps taking so long. I'm just like, oh my god, fuck this. So I'm not sure where to go on this, but I'm there. I don't. I'm planning on seeing if I can make a real dive back into light novels. But do want to focus a little bit more on visual novels these days, just because I think a lot of interesting visual novels are coming out. Obviously, a lot of good visual novels are becoming translated, so on and so forth. So I do want to make a dive on that. Manga, I've been piecing together a couple pieces here and there, but I've been hearing that a lot of stuff has been sort of being getting close ending or being axed or whatever. I mean, um, it's not surprising, right? Because of the recent climate, and not even the recent climate so much as I guess the trends, right, with anime or with manga, and just like sort of how companies are focusing on trying to do their own stuff inside, and um, just a lot of like rollover almost in terms of getting the manga, using the manga almost as like a promotional tool for other stuff, so on and so forth. So there's been a lot of stuff that's been getting axed and ending recently. A lot of series that have been ending in terms of manga recently, and it's been unfortunate, but I don't know. I kind of want to back into manga because obviously manga is still a very good medium, but I'm almost not sure where to start at this point, just because I've been out of the loop for a little bit. But yeah, that was my 2 weeks. Dark. What about you?
Um, you know, been getting back into the gym since they opened up.
The gym.
That's been interesting.
Muscles.
Yeah, it's I did that. I went back on keto to try and like cut weight in 2 months, just in case anything happens.
Just in
I
case
want to lose. Yeah, in case we get like another wave or whatever the fuck, or things have to close down again. It's like
yeah.
kind of in the mode of cut weight as soon as possible and try
Just
and
in case
like
the zombies come and you just need to,
yeah.
and they only eat fat people. Is
Yeah,
that?
they only eat people who are like above 170 pounds. So like I'm trying to get
You mean the
back
pretty
under
people,
that.
right? You
So
mean the pretty people.
yeah, the beautiful people. Um, so I'm trying to get to that. I'm gonna try and do it for like 2 months, and hopefully by then I'm in either the low 160s or 150s, like high
Good,
150s.
good. Mhm.
So that would be nice.
What episode is that for you?
Dude, you think I fucking know that? I have no idea. But it's been pretty intense getting back into the gym. Right now I'm
Mhm.
only able to do like 2 or 3 workouts for each muscle before I die, and then like 20 minutes of cardio masked up at most. Usually like anywhere between like 18 and 20. I like tap out because it's
Right,
just
right,
horrible. But yeah, I mean that was also the amount of time I was doing it before all this shit when I was on keto. So
right.
yeah, hopefully I can cut the weight pretty quick. I'm trying to keep my protein up, like
Right, right.
over
Consistent
100
steps.
grams a day and
Right.
stuff like that. And it's not too bad this time around. I'm like,
You're used to it now, though. So is that's a big
I
that's a
mean, I'm
good
not. I
big
mean,
one.
there's really no getting used to it, at least in my
Yeah, I mean, there's
opinion.
always
Like,
gonna be suffering. What
there's
I'm saying
people who
is,
are
yeah,
like, there's people who are like, yeah, man, I've done keto for like years, and I'm like, why?
yeah, that's
Like,
not a
why
smart
would you
idea.
ever do that? It's like first, like I'm using it as like an easy, quick solution, and by easy I mean fast.
Mhm.
Like I'm just using it as a fast solution to keep my like calories down, but like, yo, fuck doing this for like years at a time. Like, are you insane? Why would you do that? Like, you could just like not eat an entire pizza, and you'll be okay. Like you can have carbs. But yeah. Um, you know, I don't know. I'm just trying to build back up to kind of what I was at least for lifting. And then, hopefully the weight,
Mhm.
hopefully losing weight will also let me like um get in more like shit like pull-ups and stuff because there's like no way between like just the amount of strength I lost and just the weight I gained that I'd be able to do pull-ups and shit right now. So, like I
Mhm.
tried doing dips and it was just like I did like one set of just regular dips. I was like, "Oh yeah, this isn't going to work."
Right, right, right.
So, hopefully that goes well, but I've been looking in and spending a decent amount of money on like keto friendly snack things that are high in protein and
Yeah,
low in calories. So
you've been on the warpath with regards to having like a pretty good consistency, good consistent sort of diet.
yeah, I mean, this is only a weekend now, so we'll see. But I'm definitely already feeling better about it.
Yep,
So,
good,
got like 7 more to go.
good stuff.
Uh,
So,
yeah. But other than that, anime wise, just kind of been keeping up with stuff.
mhm.
So not a whole lot to really keep up with. So
Yeah, the thing is, it's like you can't. I'd like to ask the viewers to not like it's like usually it's like a lot of times we're just like yeah here we have this and that anime here and there stuff like that. But sometimes these days it's not us not watching anime isn't because we suddenly hate anime, although sometimes we hate anime. But it's more because there just isn't anime. Like I don't know what to say. It's like
yeah,
with
not a whole
freaking
lot.
yeah, and stuff is
Not a
getting
whole lot, that's
canceled
true.
as well. It's not even like slow release. It's like there are a lot of stuff that's just like getting canceled or just pure just delayed and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyways, thank you for talking about a little bit about your past 2 weeks. Toast. What about you?
You know.
Yes. I'm kind of afraid of
No,
what you're about to
not
say, but
really.
I
but
waited
go on.
2 weeks, and this is what happened. I place no blame on her, but on the people who caused her to leave.
Okay,
Oh,
I know what you're saying. Okay, yeah, okay.
yeah.
Yes, okay.
2 weeks for Hella is fucking
So
bad.
Toast has been continually watching more Hololive virtual YouTuber group stuff in these past 2 weeks. Yes. Have you done other stuff, Toast? I know
So,
you.
so all right. So let's go over Hololive news.
Oh boy.
Is that one? Mio's coming back. She posted a welcome back stream this morning. Sylvia is now on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure she's the first Hololive English contender because she doesn't speak Japanese, only English and Chinese.
Oh really? Okay, that's interesting.
she's also I believe she's in California right now, so she's like Artia, except
Wow.
yeah.
So that's actually pretty interesting. So she's like the sort of first one where it's like, honestly, I would even say,
She runs the Hololive Twitter, so the Hololive English Twitter, so I believe most of the English stuff is on her.
that's pretty interesting because it's like, I mean, even for stuff like, I mean, there are some Niji Sanji people who don't speak or Japanese pretty much, but like for the most part, it's always been a sort of soft requirement, right? It's like you should have it, or you can kind of say kiss goodbye to this audition kind of thing, right? But that's pretty interesting.
Well, it's from Billy. She's from Billy Billy and whatnot, so it's like, oh, you speak Chinese? Welcome aboard. It's like, oh, you speak English? That's cool.
She was probably her previous stuff was also probably popular before, so they probably worked off that.
And you can tell she speaks American English because she sounds like a Cali girl, and she doesn't have the Hachima's blatantly obvious like Australian/British English. You know that's not American English.
It's nice. That's
And
pretty good. Yeah.
Kiryu Koko, she speaks the Japanese English because I don't know, it goes well with her Japanese audience. She obviously can speak fluent like real English, but she chooses not to. I get it because
Purposeful humor. Yeah. Okay.
it'll be harder for the Japanese viewers to understand her.
Okay.
What else?
Did you
Sakamiko's coming back too. That's cool.
did you do
Yeah,
stuff
when?
that's
Soon.
did you do stuff that's not virtual YouTubers these past 2 weeks?
No,
Yeah, were you a
not
little
really.
bit?
No.
Not really. Just waiting on
I'd be
these
like,
virtual
no, what
YouTubes.
the fuck? What kind of question is that?
I apologize. I apologize.
Like, yeah, what do you take me for, man?
I apologize.
Well, I mean, if you really want to get into it, my brother gave me his weightlifting stuff, so there's a
That's
bunch
good.
of there's a bench press and a weird curved bar that I have now. I don't know.
Okay.
It's
That
like
might,
it's like a bar. It's like the dumbbell barbell thing, but it's curved in weird places. I don't know what it's for.
oh,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
like that's a curl bar. Yeah, it's like an
Yeah.
easier curl bar. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
that's
like you
pretty
I,
good.
can grip it a bunch of different fucking ways, a lot easier. And
Yeah,
do
yeah,
like wide
yeah.
grips if you
And
want
curl
them
it, do like bicep
closed.
curls and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
is the
not
bar
for.
supposed is the bar supposed to wobble a lot when I move it?
Yeah, it's supposed to help you so that it kind of naturally drops the weight downwards for you, so you don't have what the hell? Why does my phone do that? Okay.
Someone's hacking your
Guy,
phone.
yeah, this guy's getting tracked. He's getting
Yeah.
traced.
He has
It's
GPS
the
signal.
running
Oh
app.
shit.
Yeah,
I
it's the running
found
app.
him.
Yeah. Anyways,
So yeah, I mean, like if I put all the weight on the bar, it'll start to buckle a bit, and it's like that's kind of dangerous.
yeah, so essentially, you know how it's like if you put weights on a regular bar and you try to curl it, it kind of forces your wrists to do weird things, right? Because the weight kind of rolls. Essentially, that sort of bar helps just kind of naturally drop the weight downwards, so you don't have to like kind of like make your wrists all weird. Is sort of how that works.
No, I mean like what's the maximum amount of weight it can
It
withhold?
can probably
Depends on the
withstand
bar, but it
quite. Yeah,
should be
it
able to
depends on
go
the
up to
bar,
like.
but most bars should be able to
Like
do.
like 500 on each side? I don't know.
I don't think it's 500 on each side.
Definitely
Some
not for that.
Those curl bars are probably at max like 300. I want to say
Yeah,
pounds total.
that's probably where you're reaching like the actual breaking point of 150
But
each side.
if you're bicep curling 300 pounds, I just want to say you should probably you're already
Yeah.
huge
probably.
You
quest,
think I
dude.
can carry that? What's wrong
Yeah,
with you?
I think you're done. I think you're good.
Cause it's like I put all the weight on the bars, so I don't have to lift it each time. I
Mhm.
just I just put all the weight on it, and then I just remove as needed. So
I don't know if that's a good shred or
Yeah,
not, honestly. There's
you
probably like
you shouldn't
some
be
sort
doing
of workout routine that might do that, but I don't know if just always doing drop sets is like a great idea. You might want to just do a like, yeah, just raise each time.
like it's so much work just to put
Yeah,
the weights back
it
on
does
the
take a
thing.
little bit of
Yeah,
So I
time
just
to put the.
it's
Yeah, I do.
so I just
But-
leave them on
kind
there
of
and then
annoying.
remove them. I just put them all on there and then remove if needed.
Yeah, well, just need to spend a little bit more elbow grease. But yeah, it's good to see. It's good to hear that you did manage to get some good stuff during the pandemic. I know there's a lot of sort of.
I don't know. It was free.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, speaking of free, I also got a new monitor that was free. That was cool. 32-inch, big.
Nice.
I had to turn down the brightness because it's like looking into the sun.
Oh, jeez. Anyways, Toast, thank you for telling us about your past 2 weeks, getting free stuff, watching VTubers, the usual. And last but not least, Near, what have you been doing in these past 2 weeks?
Not much.
Not much.
You know. I mean, you know, stuff's been like slowing down in terms of like. I feel like the political stuff has been slowing down in the last couple weeks.
I mean, all that
'Cause,
stuff is just the
the
obvious, right?
yeah
The obvious.
the DNC was over, the RNC is over, and at this point it's kind of just like
The
shenanigans, right?
same
Up
gambit
until
over and
yeah.
over and over again.
But I mean, like there was that boat parade that the Trump
Yeah.
supporters did that was I think it was illegal, right? And then
Yeah, I think
they were
so.
going
Like
way too fast, and
5
they
of them
literally every
capsized.
single one of them like fucking sunk their ship. So that's cool. Um, I guess. Um, but mostly just playing Shadowverse, FGO,
Shadowverse.
the huge.
Check it out.
Yeah, Shadowverse has been pretty
Me-
frustrating lately,
Oh, that
though.
reminds me.
It's
I
fun.
fucking got a new phone. I don't have a phone service hooked up to it right now, or I don't have a phone subscription hooked up to it right now, or data plan rather. But I
Is that why
actually
your
just had.
phone's on the fritz?
Well, this is my old phone that's on the fritz, but my new phone, which I haven't opened actually yet, is hopefully going to be able to, the meme. It's like it works on my device. That shit.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's like your phone doesn't run this fucking stupid game, and the other person is like, I have like an iPhone XXX, and it's like it runs fine on my device. I'm like, fuck off, man.
yeah.
Hopefully, I will be able to run actual rhythm games such as Dynamics, Archaea, Voas
This is an
properly.
iPad. It's bigger, isn't it?
I should probably get a tablet, but I don't. I'm thinking about down a little bit more down the road. It's interesting that you mentioned that because there are a lot of like inconveniences with regards to mobile games when you use Apple, or rather, yeah, Apple, Mac, iOS, whatever stuff, because there are like various like complications and having to buy cards and all this bullshit that you have to do with the Apple products that you don't have to do with Android stuff. But in terms of like specs and stuff like that, it's fucked up because I believe um, a lot of the Japanese mobile games and like rhythm games and stuff like that are optimized more for iPhone stuff
Yeah.
um, than pretty much any other phone, whether it's like the Chinese Huawei phones or whatever it is, Google, whatever. So technically, the most esports phones are actually all Apple, which is the most frustrating thing in existence. I don't want to get into a huge rant, but yeah, it's like
Hey
all
up,
the payment
buddy.
shit, all the payment shit is like really frustrating on Apple. But it's like apparently all the like actual sort of optimal, ideal stuff, tablets and like phones wise, are in terms of rhythm games are all Apple, which is really obnoxious. But anyways, that's enough of me ranting. Near.
Yeah.
Here,
Anyway.
tell us about Canadian news. I heard there's something wrong with the border.
What about
What?
it? It's not open. That's
I
about
heard,
it.
yeah, I heard there's placing stricter regulations due to the virus.
Yeah, that's usually what
Been
you
like
do
that
in a
for a
pandemic.
while, dude.
Yeah, it's kind of been like that for like 6 months now. But I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they're like constricting it even more because fucking dumbass Americans keep coming through the border, being like, Yeah, we're like driving to Alaska, and then they just go on fucking vacation. So
Here, why don't you put a border around Niagara Falls? That way they can't sneak in.
That is
True.
yeah, all those people boating across the falls. But
Nice.
yeah, uh, you know,
Nothing
just the
like
usual.
Yeah. Okay. Pretty good. Pretty good. And so that was the 2 weeks rundown from Near. I guess we should start right off. Toast.
What's up?
What do you have for us today?
I watched the greatest show in the history of this season.
I thought you were gonna say the greatest show on earth.
History of
Fuck.
this
You should have
season.
said greatest show on earth. No.
No, that's Data Live. What are you talking about?
All right.
So
Yes.
who covered Monster Girls? Nia, was it you?
Was
It wasn't
No.
you, was it?
No,
Dark,
it was
you
me.
like Monster Girls?
Yeah.
What was your favorite part? Was it the giantess vor scene?
That happened.
Yeah, there was a giantess and the dude's like open wide and then he falls into her mouth and it's like
Oh,
nice.
I haven't seen
Oh
that
right,
episode
I
yet,
forgot.
bro.
I forgot. The main character, Peter Grill, was Shimono, Shimono Hiro. Right.
Who's
Good
that?
stuff.
But yeah,
Who's that?
Who's that?
I actually have not
Uh,
kept up with Monster Girl Doctor yet.
Aki
It actually
Sayushi and
managed to get more
Bakugo.
degenerate as the episodes went on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised, right? Like, is anybody surprised with
No.
that? No. Yeah. Anyways,
So and then what else was there? He Hunt Hero, was it?
hmm?
Something Heroes? What did I watch?
HX
HX
Zeros
Heroes?
HX
or
Heroes. So I was
Heroes.
like,
Yeah, you
all
can call
right.
it Heroes, whatever.
So you got
Meet
Monster
Heroes.
Girls fetishes with one, then you got regular Tula Root stuff in another. What happens? And you combine the two.
The
You
thing I'm
get
curious
You get
about
a
is
bad show.
I have read the manga at least, I believe, for a long while back, like a long while back. This is manga original, right? It's not a
it's
okay.
great.
Yeah, I did read it a while back. Um, so obviously, like this, Peter. Do you want to give us a quick plot
So
synopsis, or should I? Yeah.
so
That's
Peter
fine.
Grill he won this tournament, so he's like the strongest man on the planet.
Mhm.
And he's like, yeah, I'm cool. Now that I won this tournament, I can marry Luvelia Senpai, the normal human girl that we've been hanging out with for 2 years, and we only held hands. But then all the other monster girls are like, hold on a minute, you're the strongest man in the planet. Nice. I want your baby. That's the whole point of this show. And he's all like, but then he's all the first episode is like these two ogre sisters. They look like Oni though. They
Mhm.
have a demon tail. I'm like, that's not what an ogre looks like. And I've been seeing a lot of Shrek memes with this one, and it's like, I get it, they're funny, but they look more like Oni to me. Get out of my swamp and all that other stuff.
Right.
Yeah, it's still all like, damn, you're a stud horse. We want your seed because we want strong offspring. And Peter's like, no, I can't do that. I'm engaged. And they're all like, I don't care. Let's do it. And he's like, damn, okay. And then he does it. And that's the plot of every episode. He's all like, no, I'm engaged. Monster Girl's like, but I want it. He's like, damn, I guess I have no choice.
Right. So essentially, like the whole like he's engaged to somebody is pretty
It's
much like the comedic backdrop, and then the rest of it is pretty straightforward,
it's your
like as
favorite,
ever Sarah.
Spire. It's
It's my favorite.
it's NTR.
All
Does it
right. I'll
count
keep it down
if
over there.
Peter and Luvelia haven't done anything though?
I think it still does, but
But
anyways,
yeah,
yeah.
the show's great.
Uh, it,
Onis are great. Elf, what? Take it or leave it.
I'm
Sure.
definitely a big fan of the orc, to be honest.
Which one? The Ayane Takatatsu one?
No, 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 no.
Which
Those
one?
are the oni, right?
Oh, the orc. Oh, whoops.
The
See,
orc, right? The orc.
that's why
Yeah.
we. You can't say orc. You got to say oni. This is Japan, and yeah. the- I don't
Right,
know
right, right.
who the orc is. I don't know who she is.
It's Senbongi Sayaka,
Who's
who
that?
did let me see. Sorry.
She's Trish. Okay, Trish
Yeah.
from JoJo. Okay.
But yeah. I so the question I want to ask is I did read the manga and I did like it. It's a closet pleasure of mine. But I other than the whole like comedy stick, it's a little bit more standard, right? Essentially, he's kind of just going
Yeah.
through the cases, collecting the girls. But I in the manga, at least to me, like there is a comedy bent, but a lot of isekais and a lot of harems. Not, I mean, I'm not saying this is an isekai, but a lot of harems, a lot of sort of feudal high fantasy harems and stuff like that these days have that sort of comedy bent, right? Where it's like, oh, you're chasing after another girl, blah blah blah, and all this shit happens, right? Um, so I haven't seen the anime yet, but is there a is
12
it
minutes fire.
what?
This is a 12-minute anime.
Oh, really? It's 12 minutes. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's like I get it, but
It's not even like a short. It's like 12 minutes, which is a very
12
weird
minutes.
thing. Yeah, yeah. But do you think that there is like a significantly stronger comedic bent in the series? Like that's not just like, oh, you're chasing after another girl kind of thing. Like, is there like, do they really trying to emphasize that or the comedic sort of aspect of it, or is it just like, is it a lot more of the same?
Well, to compare the manga's comedy to the anime's comedy, I gotta
Hmm.
say, Hiro Shimono was a really good choice for Peter Grill.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that comedic
That's good to hear.
tone
That's
in
good
his
to hear.
voice, and he's good at that. Really
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
shows.
And he can handle like the harem stuff too, with like the panicking with the girl when the
Yeah,
girls
he's
come
really
onto
good
him
at
and
that.
stuff. Yeah,
He's
yeah,
got good expressions, good vocal tonality, whatever you want to call it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely experienced in this
Mhm.
field, and it's great.
Good
So
stuff. Good stuff.
I don't know. So far, there's 9 episodes. We got, I think we got all the players that we're gonna see in the anime so far.
Yeah, the thing is,
That
it's like so. I mean, like the weird thing is, it's like the it sounds kind of weird, but the pacing of Peter Grill is actually relatively fast, right? In terms of like kind of pumping out the characters or like being like, okay, here's the arc, boom. You got into troubles or whatever with this girl. Okay, you got in troubles with these other girls, blah blah. And the pacing is actually relatively fast compared to other sort of like harems or high fantasy kind of stuff, right? And introducing like the characters like out the door. But what was weird to me was, and this might have been just me only maybe reading the more beginning parts of the manga, is that compared to the fast pacing, there weren't a lot of like girls that I thought was going to be introduced. You know what I mean? Like it already because a lot of the girls are already tacking onto him, and he has to kind of fend them off while staying true to Luvilia or whatever the main girl is, right? The princess or whatever. So I feel like there wasn't like that much room for a lot of girls to kind of jump in. You know what I mean? Although the pacing is still fast. So do you think there's going to be? I don't know how far you've read into manga, but you've probably read a little bit further than I have, for sure. But do you, are there like way more girls? Is it just going to keep piling up, or like what's going to happen, or is it kind
well,
of going to center around like a smaller cast and then kind of cycle through them calmly?
well, apparently, they spoil that in the anime opening for some
Mhm.
reason. There's a
Okay.
spoiler scene where Peter Grill shows up and he's like, "Oh no!" And then in the background, there's the goblins, which
Okay, okay, okay,
where
okay.
there's the obvious goblin girl, but she's not on the cover, so she's not going to be there. and I think there's a vampire, and I'm like, who's this? And then there's like a slime,
right. Okay,
slime
so they're
tentacle
just gonna pile
jellyfish
it up.
girl, and I'm like, who the heck is this?
You're like, what the fuck? Yeah, okay, so they're gonna pile it up at the sort of regular
But
pacing.
3 episodes left, right? How are you gonna fit that in? Maybe
That
season
is
2,
true.
or like,
Is it
that doesn't make sense. But whatever, I'll take it.
special OVAs or something? Or no, fuck. You're right. What they could do is my guess. This is my guess. It's like they're going to introduce one. You said 9, and then there are 3 episodes left. 9, 10, 11, 12. Right? Is what you said. So my guess is probably like, hmm, they're going to probably, yeah, they're probably going to jam it in 10 each, a new girl in 10 and 11, and then
I
in
don't think
episode
they have.
12 they're going
I don't think they have time for that.
to.
The goblin arc's
Hmm.
pretty big, and remember these are only 12 minutes.
Has that arc not ended yet by episode 9?
No, in episode 9 we just get introduced to another
Wow,
ogre dude, and it's like, okay,
that's a really
there's
interesting.
some more NTR in this one, but yeah, we're still going into the background of these other
They're
girls.
probably they're probably they're probably aiming for an extension into the fall season. Then
Good.
is my guess. Yeah.
I want in on that. This show's great.
I might watch it myself, to be honest. But yeah.
Well, what else? There's 3 versions of this show. There's the censored one,
Oh
and
my god, this shit again.
there's the
God damn it.
censored one, the half uncensored one, and then the
Tell me
full
where to watch the
uncensored one.
uncensored one.
It's like, damn, why am I sitting here watching the censored one like some loser? I found this uncensored one. It's like, nice.
Nice.
Like,
Okay,
I
yeah.
don't know. Why
That's
would you watch anything but this version?
that's
Right.
a bit unfortunate that they had to do that, but oh,
The voices are good. Yeah,
mhm,
good voice choices, I guess.
mhm.
Yeah, you got your fetishes. You got the strong.
Got your fetishes. Yeah.
You
No,
got
I agree. I agree.
you got the strong on their son ogre, the younger little Moto-ish ogre,
Uh-huh.
Sundere lolly elf, I guess.
Okay.
And you got the yandere brown skinned, not dark elf. Or
And you got the straight laced girl, right? As the princess.
yeah, and then. But I'm waiting for the Goblin arc. The Goblin arc's the greatest Goblin arc ever created. Even better than Goblin Slayer.
Yeah. I'm not sure how high of a bar that is, but okay.
Well, Goblin Slayer has a movie.
Well, I don't think
It's a good movie.
That means it
No,
has to be
Free
good,
has a
dude.
movie. I don't wait. Actually, Tamaki Market has a fucking movie. Does Tamaki Market have like 2 movies? What the fuck?
I think it only has 1.
Really?
I think
Yeah. Okay.
Free has like
Like 3 movies. It
3
has
or
at
4?
least 3 movies.
Yeah,
Did Yuri on Ice ever get a movie?
I don't think so.
Oh, it means it's
I
bad.
hope not.
It
Yeah,
means it's bad.
it's officially shit.
Anyways, any last words, Toast?
This show's great. All of
Yeah.
you should watch it.
I agree.
I'm nothing but praise. Oh yeah, nothing but praise for this show. It's the greatest one this season.
It's the greatest of all time.
This is the greatest Monster Girls show ever conceived so far. You thought Demi-chan was good? Check
Oh,
out this dude. He actually gets stuff done.
this already sounds like a critical title here.
But yeah,
To tell you.
apparently, you know the show's title, right? Peter Grill and the Philosopher's Time. I figured out what the Philosopher's Time is.
Yeah. Oh, what is
Post nut clarity.
it? Wait, is that actually? Is
Uh,
that is that the
think it
actual
is.
reference?
I think it is.
Oh shit! If that's actually the reference, that'd be pretty
'Cause
fucking.
every
cool.
time
going on
every
here?
time he's all like, "Damn, I did it again. Why am I so unfaithful?" But in the heat of the moment, he's like,
Oh
"Oh,
right,
well,
because he
I
goes to
need it."
right. He does go to bed with a right. You're right.
And he's
That
all
could be
like,
the reference. Yeah.
"Yeah,
Damn. Okay, that's pretty cool.
the show's great. All of you should watch it.
Well, thank you, Toast, for
Don't
covering.
listen to what the haters say about this show. Like They thought, who cares about interspecies reviewers?
Well, interspecies
This is
reviewers is a very
this is
yeah,
the
I
real
agree.
stuff.
I agree that it's a very different beast.
It's
But
and yeah, interspecies reviewers overrated. What you
I don't
need
think it
is
was rated
Hot
highly in the
takes,
first place.
dude. Hot
Wait,
takes.
it
yeah, hot
wasn't.
takes.
It can't be overrated if it wasn't rated highly in the first
It was
place,
rated
right?
highly
I mean,
afterwards.
Well, it was.
yeah, it started to get rated
People
highly
ate that
after
shit
they
up, dude.
fucking
Yeah.
canned it from everything.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, that's I see. All right then.
What is the what's the famous term?
What?
What?
Remember, it goes with don't stick your dick in crazy. What is it? Two thrust regret. Was that what's that
I
term?
don't think
What?
that's the.
I forget.
I don't know what. I don't
Okay,
know
okay, keep going
what you're
anyways.
It's
talking
the
about.
one where
Alright.
it's the one you're like you're banging this chick and he's like, I need to go right now.
I gotta go.
I gotta
I
go.
gotta get out of here.
Yeah, but it's not like that. Peter Grill's like, all right, I'm in it to win it in the moment. But then in the morning he's like, damn, I shouldn't have done that.
I see.
What else? One last thing. The opening and the ending are two sides of the same coin. Great. The
What do you
anime
mean by that?
opening is with a female singer and it sings of Peter Grill's like, oh, why did I do this? And it's the post nut regret song.
Oh.
So definitely this is like, I can't believe I'm such a weak-willed man and all that other stuff. And then the ending is a dude and he's all like, oh, I love you, Luvelia senpai. I want to be with you more than anyone else. It's like, whoa, Peter Grill. This is the saga of Peter Grill.
That's pretty good.
Whoa.
Wow. This is the best fitting anime ending and opening ever produced. They really poured all the budget into this show.
All the budget. Anyways, thank you, Toast, for covering Peter Grill and the Philosopher's Time, or Peter Grill.
And the
So-
post nut clarity. Oh!
Peter Grill to Kenja no Jikan. But yeah, thank you for covering that. And we will now move on to excuse me, we will now move on to Gibiate. Am I pronouncing that correctly, Dark?
I don't fucking know, dude. Who cares? Like,
Who?
I don't speak
gives a shit?
Japanese.
It is
Like-
spelled Gibiate.
Yeah.
Gibiate.
It's spelled fucking 4.12 on Mall.
Wow,
what
that's
it's
lower than
fucking
Peter
spelled.
Grill.
Yeah. No, that's like even a 5 and change on Mall. It's like this show could have redeeming aspects, but like people just obviously don't give a shit. Like 4 territory, like 4 on Mall. Like as much as we meme on Mall reviews, it's like no, that's just like yeah, something's fucked up here. Like this is not. There's
Yeah,
no
yeah.
way this is gonna be good. And sure enough, to start off, the show is very bad. In almost every way, shape, and form. But so as a synopsis, the story takes place in Japan 2030, and there's a
That's only 10
viral
years away.
disease named
Whoa!
Gibiate that turns infected. By the way, I skimmed like 3 episodes of this. I barely watched it.
Wow, this show is so topical. A viral disease.
It
10 years
turns
into the
infected
future.
people into different monsters based on their age, sex, and race. That doesn't seem to be that important anyway. And then there's like a samurai and a ninja from the early Edo period travel together through time and arrive in the ruined Japan. I'm gonna be honest with you. I skimmed so hard, I don't know how that happened. I don't know if they say how that happened. I don't know really what the deal is. But there doesn't even really seem to be anything going on with them anyway. Basically, the only good thing in this show, and even that's not that great, is like just the character designs and like the still images. Like the stills of characters. It was like the only redeeming aspect in this entire show. Because everything else is very bad. So you would think like, oh, this is an action series because it says it's an action series and there's samurai in it. The action is awful. Cuts
we saw
are
the trailer though,
terrible.
right? Yeah, we
Yeah,
saw the trailer. It was not good.
it's so like the extent of a fight in episode 2 is there's like one of the creatures is like a dog thing and the other one's like a bird thing. And so like the dog thing, a guy like lays a trap with like razor wire or some shit and like it runs into the trap and he like fucking trips it and like grabs the wire with his hand, which doesn't make any sense, by the way. Because if it's razor wire strong enough to like cut the fucking dog monster into pieces, how is this guy able to just fucking like rip it essentially? Like not rip it, but like pull it with him? Like I don't know, maybe he's like, oh, he's got gloves on. Like whatever,
right.
who cares?
The
But
thing is,
regardless, it's like a fucking 30-second lingering shot of him just screaming, pulling this wire and cutting back to like the dog thing
this isn't
like slowly getting cut into, and it's like, all right, this is not exciting.
From what I've seen, I've seen the trailer and I've seen a little bit of the first like episode, but it's like it's not like Mars of Destruction or what is it, Musashi, Gundam Musashi kind of levels, kind of meme stuff, but it's like it's depressing. You know what I mean? It's like bad enough to be depressing, but not bad enough to be funny. Is sort of how I describe it. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, well, I mean, because like the character art, like the actual like anime character art isn't like too bad and is pretty good in some parts. But like I mean, realistically, it's just kind of pulling like almost like semi JoJo because like the director was like the character, I think like lead character design for part 3, the anime.
Mhm.
So there's that. This is also his directorial debut, so that's kind of depressing because the cuts in this show are fucking awful.
Did he do any like assistance kind of stuff before?
Not
Or no?
directing, just like key animation. It
Storyboard,
seems like he's just
yeah.
a key animator.
yeah.
Like he's
Oh,
done
really?
major
Okay.
key animation on shit.
That's very
But
unfortunate.
yeah, I mean like the cuts are really bad. Like I was talking to Near, like I was skimming through, and one of the first things I see is a transition scene is just a hard vertical wipe.
What?
Yeah, like a straight
What?
line down the screen, just wiping across the screen into a new scene. And I'm like,
Fuck.
I have never fucking seen this before in like anything.
Okay.
Like the closest thing is like is like Star Wars, but that at least has like feathering on the wipes. And also doesn't transition over like a close up on a fucking character's face either with a vertical wipe. Like this was like in a car. They were like in a car talking to each other or something. And so that happened. The fight really sucked. The samurai, you would think like, wow, the samurai scenes, like, that would be kind of the crux of the series, would be him like slashing through enemies. And you'd be correct, except it's not animated. The only thing that,
What
as
do you
far
mean?
as I
What do you
can
mean by
tell in 3 episodes, that ever really happens with him fighting is a black screen with a white streak slash effect over it, and then cutting back to the anime, like the full scene of just the enemy being cut in half, essentially.
What the
Like,
fuck is that? Wait, what?
yeah, it's like this shit, like, you know how, like, sometimes, like, for one thing or, like, the end of a fight, with a fucking like katana or something, you'd have the draw into just like the black screen with the white slash, and then like cut
Okay.
back to the person cut in
What
half or
the fuck?
whatever.
Oh
That
no.
happens like multiple
no.
times in at least the first 3 episodes because it's all I skimmed.
Oh no.
And I didn't see an actual fight scene with him doing anything other than that in it. So there's that. Then again, like I said, the only other really part of a fight scene that I could tell was a guy standing and shooting, and the other guy pulling the wires for like 30 seconds. So
Is the wire guy the one that looks like a bootleg Lancer?
yes, that's him. I don't know what the point of this series is.
I mean, the point of the series was probably just like it wanted to be cool, I guess, but like it sucks.
I mean,
what
it's just
else do you do on it, right?
nonsense. Like, it's
Is this
not a
based
good
off of
setup.
anything?
It's not.
I'm pretty
No,
sure it's an original.
it's an original.
It wanted to be it wanted to be like something like a Pareranman, where it's like the story is kind of there, but it's like a lot of it's just like, oh, we're just doing cool stuff, bros, and it's like that. But then it just also sucks. So it's like, okay, where are we going
I
with
mean, the
this?
thing is that it's like, it's also it's very unfortunate because it's like
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't
I
know
agree.
who was in charge of like the actual like premise and writing of the series, but it's like, well, first off, why the fuck do you have to have time travelers? Like, this is like a post-apocalyptic fucking like way post-apocalypse like Japan at this point because of
Because
this
it's cool.
virus.
It's
Like,
cool. Dark.
you could just like if you're trying to go for almost like the Fist of the North Star type shit, you don't need to have time travelers. Like like you don't need a time traveler to be a fucking samurai. If you wanted a samurai in a series like this, you could just make it like a guy who uses a katana.
Mhm.
In fact, that'd probably make more sense because he'd be training against monsters. There's really no reason why he would stand any fucking chance. Because he's just a samurai. And he wouldn't be fighting monsters. But yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what is gonna happen. I mean, I don't care what's gonna happen. Like, I'm not watching any more of this. Like,
Anymore, yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's like I don't. Uh, like whatever. It's not good. Like, it's very bad. And it doesn't make any sense. It's like yeah, like I said, the cuts are fucking awful. The fights are boring and nothing. I don't know what the hell happened here, but
Mhm.
I hope it doesn't happen again.
Jesus.
I mean, the project also seems like a fucking disaster too. Like, waiting to happen. Like,
Right,
the
right.
description of the project is like, it's a global IP development group consisting of internationally renowned Japanese creators such as Yoshitaka Amano, Final Fantasy, Naoki Serizawa, Biohazard / Resident Evil, Yuzo Koshiro, composer of, was it Ease or Wise, that series, and Actor Azer,
Yes.
the Yoshida brothers, world-renowned
Yeah, I mean this series
shamans.
the series is literally just like, hey, we have Yoshitaka Amano as character designer. Wow. And like they didn't think
Please give us
beyond that.
money.
Like,
Please give us money now.
yeah.
It also has really shitty CG for the monsters. Like, very bad. But you can see that in the trailer, too.
Mhm.
But I don't know, man. I feel bad because, like, this dude's directorial debut, and it's like, yeah, I will never. Like, I hope he releases something down the line that's good. This is probably one of the worst first impressions I could have ever seen. And it is at least partially his fault. So, because the cuts and pacing is miserable. So, you know,
It's
these
very
studios are like new too, so I don't know what the fuck the deal is with that. I don't know if like they got screwed over by the virus. I kind of doubt that though, because
No.
like the trailer was fucking terrible, and the trailer came out way before that, I think, right?
I don't
Like this
remember.
project isn't really
But-
new-ish.
The
in
real
that
question is
sense.
how
Like,
much actual input did all these famous people put into it? Because remember, Lords of Shadow had Kojima's name on it, but did he really do anything?
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's like, I don't know, like, I would assume, like, Yuzo Koshiro is the composer for the show, like the show's soundtrack. The Yoshida brothers do the OP. I don't know what Yoshitaka Amano and Naoki Serizawa particularly were involved with.
Maybe
in
they
this. They
dropped
might
him
have
off the
like
office
handed
and
said,
off
like,
like
yeah.
They just did character design. Like,
yeah, and
That's it.
probably like
It's
some
really not a
monster
big
design
deal.
shit. And it's like, okay,
They
the
showed
rest of the
they
show's
showed a couple papers.
fucking
They put
garbage.
they,
but-
they put it on the bulletin board for the office, and they were like, "Yeah, these characters." And then
They probably just sent him an email. It's like, all right, here you go.
Yeah,
here's
here's
some
some
fucking-
characters.
some TIFF files, motherfuckers.
But see, like,
Then
I don't know, because, like I said, like this is supposed to be a global IP development group consisting of these. So I don't know what the deal is with this actual quote unquote project.
Mhm.
But I mean, also like a bad sign would be a project like this being with a studio that's never done anything before, right? Like that should
I mean,
kind
I
of
don't think it's
also be a
like
pretty big fucking red flag. Like,
I think it's also maybe partly, this pandemic driving people to kind of go out on a limb like this, right? Is could also be kind of what it is, right?
I don't
yeah,
know.
with like no resources to make the venture work at all.
Yeah, stew stuff.
Yeah, I mean, plus I wouldn't. I don't know how much like COVID has actually really impacted this series and made it as bad as it is, because it's like, you know, even with like a full budget, it doesn't seem like it would have been like you could throw as much money as you want at this and it still might not be very good. Like,
Right.
I don't know. Even with what it had, there were a lot of cuts. Oh, that's what I was gonna say too. There are a lot of cuts during the fights that are just like montages, essentially, of like stills. So it's like, even with what it had, it still doesn't even like run its own course properly. But anyway, that's enough about this series. I think that's my closing words on it. It fucking sucks. Like, don't bother watching it. Who cares? Like, I mean, I barely even watched it. Like, I kind of just like said I was gonna watch it, and then I looked it up on Mall first before I went
You
to
already just like,
go
nope,
watch it, and I was like, oh shit.
about this.
Yeah, I was like, well, you know, we're like 3 hours out. I can't really tell Spire like I'm just not gonna cover this, so I guess I'll, I guess I'll
Yes.
do something. You know, I guess I can
Feel- yeah.
warn people
I
in
feel
case they
bad for
see
you
the
guys
cover art.
that didn't get Peter Grill.
Yeah, I think I'm all right either way.
Don't
I
worry,
think
I
I
don't feel that
probably would
bad,
have had
Todd.
a very similar reaction.
And it's the greatest show ever?
Um,
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Anyways, thank you, Dark, for helping to cover Gibiate or Gibiate or whatever it's called.
What was
We
the
kind
last
of
show that had all these famous creators that end up sucking. Rage of Bahamut,
Chaos
No.
Dragon too.
Chaos
Chaos
Dragon. That's the-
Dragon, and there was another one too, right?
You might be right. Was it? What? It wasn't recreators. It was What was it? There was
I don't
something.
know.
There was something.
Wasn't
Pretty,
it like wasn't there one like fucking Guilty Crown, whatever?
Guilty Crown wasn't.
Oh.
Guilty Crown just had a lot of money thrown at it, but it wasn't.
I don't
I mean,
remember.
Dog
There was
Days is
definitely another
Dog Days had
series,
Game
another
Pass,
like
but it
collab
was
series. That was a
yeah, collab
fucking
series. And,
mess.
yeah.
Yeah, it's called Darling in the Franxx.
There was
Oh,
also
yeah,
Kufu
that too.
Graffiti. Kufu
What are
Graffiti
you What are you talking about? That was all A1, pal, buddy.
had-
I'll
Kufu
have you
Graffiti
know.
also had Okada Mori and Akiyuki Shimbo butting heads, right? If I remember correctly, as well as the
I
author.
wouldn't be surprised. But I mean, Kofu Graffiti, like, regardless of how like the internal problems were, like that show just looked like fucking dog shit. So
It was very unfortunate. But yeah. Anyways, thank you, Dark, for helping to cover Gibiate, is what I'm gonna stick with for now. And what about you, Nier? What do you have for us?
I didn't watch anything from this season. Haha. um, what I'm covering is Fugou Keiji, Balance Unlimited. Um,
Huh?
the series so cool. It has 2 colons in its title. Um,
It's one of those shows.
yeah, but yeah, this was one of the series that got delayed for a very long time. Last season, it got delayed after like episode 2. Um, and this is like, I mean, it labels itself as a detective series, but I wouldn't call it that.
Mhm.
And it's basically like the main character, um, Katoharu, is like a former, I don't know, I forget what they call it, like first investigations guy. And then he like fucked up on the job, and they like demoted him to like basically like, I guess, I don't even know like what they call it, like modern crimes division or something. It's like basically just like he's a detective, but everybody looks funny at him because he's not in a fucking suit, right?
Good. Yeah.
And then Kanbei Daisuke, which is this like multi super gorillionaire, super genius Batman guy, who has literally infinite money apparently, decides to join the same unit that Haru is in, and um, cop stuff happens.
You're like
Yeah,
these like cop stuff things happen.
yeah. Again, the series labels itself as a quote unquote mystery like detective series, but it's not. The first 3 episodes, which I genuinely did not like, basically goes around and it's like Haru's trying to be a detective, um, and then Daisuke comes in and he's like, I have infinite money. I can just do whatever I want. And then he solves the problem with his infinite money. And it's like, this sucks. Like,
So how much of this is how much of this is what is it? Um I mean, it sounds pretty obvious what your answer is going to be, but you know what? Again, what I was saying when I say detective versus mystery series, right? Is this a
this,
detective series or a mystery series?
it's like, it's neither, right? Like, there is no mystery, right?
There's no
Um,
mystery.
like, at least for the first 5 episodes, there's no mystery, right? In the last few episodes, they've started to introduce like an overarching like conspiracy mystery, which in my opinion just makes the series like even worse. Because I hate corporate conspiracy mysteries.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, the first 5 episodes is basically somebody is committing a crime, and then
Okay.
Daisuke uses his infinite money Batman super AI butler, and his infinite money and his super gadgets and his fucking like uh sister that can hack into the mainframe and like apparently control all of Japan's electronics, to
Right.
just solve the problem like instantly. Uh, and
That's what I like to hear.
yeah, and I mean, to be fair, this is supposed to be a comedy series. And at like the end, they do like this weird like tally thing of like how much money he spent like in the episode, um, which is like kind of cool, I guess. But I don't know. My main problem lies with like literally every single problem that comes up in this series, except for one episode, is just solved with money. Um, like he'll like they'll bring in criminals and they'll start like interrogating them, and then Daisuke will just come in and be like, name your price,
Hmm?
and just pay him. Like, and it's like, what's the point of having the interrogation scene if you're just gonna be like, well, I'll just pay you for the info? And it's like, that's not even interesting. It's not even funny. It's just dumb.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Like pretty much everything uh in this, like every single problem is solved. It's just like, yeah, I'll just buy it. There's a couple episodes. There's one episode which I liked uh quite a bit actually, where Daisuke um like he gets in a squabble with his family or whatever, and he just leaves the house. But when he leaves the house, he forgets his like wallet and his phone, which has like basically his fucking Batman shit in it, right? Uh, so he like the entire episode is like, well, he's got no money, right? So it's kind of like a Fujo fan service episode because the two guys have to like go to Haru's apartment and basically like bum it out, like live the poor man's life.
Right.
Um,
Nice.
but like it's a good episode because it's the two characters just interacting with each other, and Daisuke's like, damn, you do this like shopping shit every day. It's kind of cringe, bro. And he's like, eating poor people food and stuff, and he's like, damn, this is good, right? It's somewhat endearing like character interaction.
Uh,
Um, but then it kind of just goes back to like, yeah, I'm rich, so I'll just solve all the problems.
are you caught up on Bungo Stray Dogs?
No, why?
I think you'd like it. I think if you did, I think you'd enjoy it because there's a
Yeah, I mean, I
similar
like
character
Bungo
that's
a
done a
lot.
lot better.
Yeah, I mean, I'm honestly, I don't, I don't think this series is really a Fujo show. There's a lot of males in the show. Like, this show is like 99% male. Um, but
Are you
like
trying to
Bungo,
imply that
Bungo's
Bungo Stray Dogs is some kind of Fujo show?
yes, Bungo Stray
Sir?
Dogs is extremely Fujo.
Sir.
Sir?
Um, in fact, the first like what was it, the OP or the ED, basically has a fucking Dazai and the main villain fucking having sex with each other. Like, but you know, but yeah, back to
Listen,
this
when
series.
Aizawa it said like I love you or whatever one
Yeah,
season, that was just purely platonic, all right? So
just
I
a prank, bro.
think you're wrong.
Just Joshing.
Yeah, but like I said, the first 5 episodes are basically episodic shit. Um, just the main character kind of throwing money around, and then Haru being like, "Hey, can you like not do that? It's kind of like not how cops work, bro." And he's like, "Yeah, fuck you." Um, but lately there've been like, there's one episode where some like, I think it's like South American country, uh, the like president comes to Japan, right?
Hmm.
Um, and he gets attacked by terrorists. Um, and like the bomb that gets used apparently like has ties to the company that Daisuke owns. But like the weird super AI butler that he has like isn't giving him access to like figure out what's going on. So and then it kicks off this like you know conspiracy shit with like multiple companies and like who's making this like fucking weapons tech and why, and it's like it's so boring. And it's like, why would you start this like more than halfway through the series? um yeah, I don't know, I'm not big on this series. Some people seem to like it a lot. Some people seem to think it's mediocre. um I'm really not a fan. um I like detective series. I like mystery series too. But like I said, this is neither of them. This is like a weird like action comedy, but like the punchline isn't very good in my opinion. Um, so yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Um, but yeah,
That's very, very unfortunate. Um, I thought it would end up better than what you described, but
yeah. I
it's
mean, I thought it would be good too because it's it's CloverWorks, right? It looks fine. The soundtrack's pretty good. It's got like a nice jazzy soundtrack.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like the character interactions are decent too. Some of the minor characters are quite fun. Um, the voice acting. There's some very big names. Onaki
Oh
Yusuke,
yeah,
Mamoru, Sakuno Maya. Like there's big names here. Um, but yeah, it just didn't pan out. I just don't really like the premise very much.
yeah. And that was very unfortunate. But anyways, thank you for covering Fugou Keiji. Anyways, uh, it was I believe it was pretty big enough so that I think we should have covered it. But thank you for doing so. And last but not least, I will cover a series that has been quite a topic, both I believe recently and before. It is Uzaki-chan wa Asobitai, or Uzaki-chan wants to play.
Oh
Um,
boy, you're covering that, huh?
yes, it
You
is.
took the easy way out, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, he did.
I did.
I mean, to be fair, Spires also watched fucking gay sex with Titans, so
That's-
All
Yeah,
right,
that was
yeah.
his own
I've watched
choice,
enough.
all right?
I've taken some bullets over the years. Yes.
Taking some bullets, offered it up, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe the studio. It is a manga original.
Is it?
I believe. Yeah, 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 it is manga.
Is it a light novel original?
I don't think so.
I don't think it's a
Oh,
light novel original, dude.
of course,
This
it's a
sort of
manga
thing
original.
usually is not.
Spire, you gotta pay attention. You're not on the ball.
I knew. What?
Yeah,
what are you talking about,
Yeah, you're
dude?
not on the ball is
you're not on the ball, dude.
to gaslight you as a fucking light novel.
Yeah,
Okay.
I should have said it was a VN original.
A VI original. Yeah, that'd be pretty funny. Um, it is done by Studio Engi, who has done this, and they've done Tage Kimono Michi, or Forward like Animal Road, or whatever the English localization is. Then that previous series was about the professional wrestler who gets isekai'd and he like loves animals or whatever, right?
Yeah, that series is great.
The
By
series
the
is pretty
way.
good. And now it's doing Uzaki-chan. Uzaki-chan full series. Um, the casting is actually pretty nice. It's pretty solid. Wow, fucking is this for real? Oh wait, no, wait, more characters. Here we go. All right. So casting right now seems pretty solid. Supporting characters brought up by characters like or sorry, by voice actors such as Taketatsu Ayana, and the two main characters I believe are the main character Sakurai Shinichi is done by Akabane Kenji, who is a pretty flexible voice actor, both in doing like calm voices and doing a little bit more like manly kind of rough voices. And Uzaki Hana is done by Ozura Naomi, famous for doing obviously what is it, Gabriel Dropouts, um, Satania, but I believe she's most famous for doing Olata Chieri in the Idolmaster Cinderella Girls. So she's pretty flexible, and in this one obviously she does like sort of like a noisy sort of like get in your face kind of girl, which she does pretty well. And the voice balance is fine. In terms of this, audiovisual is pretty standard. Hatagi Kimono Michi wasn't bad either, and Studio Engi does a good job in replicating the art for this one. The story is just there's not much of a story, right? It's just Uzaki-chan, the girl, is starting to hang out with the MC, is hanging out with the MC, and just goes around and messes around and does fun stuff and just goes to various places, amusement parks, whatever, right? Malls, wherever, right? And just mess
Yeah.
around. And so the big thing is obviously everybody's wondering is, okay, this is the girl with the Sugoi Dekai t-shirt and the large boobies, right? It's like how much boobies are is there? And the answer is actually not very much. Like
Is Sugoi
Dropped.
Dekai the new Mega Milk?
yes. It's actually
Wait,
pretty funny because it's like
I mean, that shirt also only shows up
Yeah.
like one time as well.
yeah, part of why I want to actually bring why I actually picked this specifically to host this was wasn't there a controversy or something like that, or like
Oh, you
didn't
want to go? You want to talk about the Twitter
Oh,
wars
there's
over
been
Uzaki?
multiple.
there
There's
wasn't
been
there like
multiple
recently some
controversies.
Western Twitter artists who were being retarded about Uzaki-chan, right? Specifically.
That's fucking
Yeah,
weird.
quite a few.
Yeah.
Does anybody know any more specifics about that? Because
Oh, there's a lot of specific.
Well,
mean,
there
it-
was the one that was the medical thing or whatever.
Yeah, that
for
I
the
believe
blood
that's the one that
donations
started
that
it.
people were pissed off about because it was just art of her.
I mean, it was one guy. Like it was
Or,
literally
yeah,
one guy. Like I forget what his Twitter is, but like he's like
wait, Shibuya Kaiho weighed in on the Uzaki-chan debate. What does this mean?
Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
but
And then it
like-
blew up, right? Like because
like,
he tried to
yeah,
fix her
the anime gets announced, right?
Yes.
And you know, us Westerners hate sex, right? So
hate girls.
you know, Western Twitter artists they see breasts and they fucking start convulsing.
Mhm.
And so they feel the need to be fucking absolute retards and uh fix character designs, which is like
Fixed.
not really something you should do if you're like, you know, somebody that respects art as an artist. Like that's
Can I also
kind
talk
of really
about
rude.
like
Um, but
Talk
like
about
all
the
of them
fact that
are
there are
just like
women with
really
large
gross.
breasts.
Yeah, like the idea that it's impossible for a short-statured woman to have large breasts is
In
like
fact, most of the
like
ones I
it's not even
know
like
have
accepting of like
large
reality.
breasts.
I mean,
Like-
can I also talk about how it's like I mean, first of all, this is anime, right? It's like we're already not at the threshold where we should be talking about like realistic stuff, right? It's like, can we, like, we're already talking about fucking middle schoolers plugging themselves into VR machines and saving the world and whatever, right? And it's like, can we like like what are we talking about when we're like we want realistic whatever in our art, right? It's like we're already kind of out of touch there, but it's also the fact that it's like clearly whoever drew Uzaki-chan didn't draw it because they were like, oh man, I gotta represent the realism of Japanese campus life. You know what I mean? They were like, yeah, I want to draw a cute girl, and she's also in college, right? Like that's sort of how it goes, right? And the fact that they were like, oh, it's not realistic. Like you should have made this realistic. You should have done something else that's like not you don't think is cute, but it's still real. Blah, blah, blah. But it's like he just wanted to draw something cute, and it's like, and it's ridiculous that the other person or the people on Twitter who are outraged, it's just like, how dare you draw something that you find cute? It's like, it honestly doesn't make sense to me.
I
Right.
mean,
I mean,
it's
there's
just rude. Like,
yeah. I
it's
mean,
rude to be an artist and be like, oh well, like you can't draw that. Like,
Or I mean, again, not even art aside. It's just like if I'm like, okay, if I'm like I find, I don't know, like, okay, short bob's pretty or something
I
like that,
mean,
right?
look.
And then you were like, how dare you find short hair? Like,
At the end of the day,
yeah.
they also are just fucked up in the head to begin with, because even what they're doing doesn't make any fucking sense.
Hmm.
Because they go, we need to fix this sexualized design. Time to make her less sexualized. And one of the features they commonly use is they make her tan or brown or just black. And it's like, this is
It's just,
something.
uh,
Like, I don't know what your goal, like, I understand what your goal was here, but some of these aspects that you're using here are kind of just disparaging to people who look like this. Like,
I can't believe this Japanese girl isn't black.
I mean, it's just like I've seen multiple pictures, like so many pictures now, where they're like, I'm gonna fix this character design, and they just make them brown or black, and it's like, yo, you're gonna be like, I'm gonna make her less sexualized, and that's one of the things you pull from is race. Like, that's a bit something.
I think the biggest consistent point, the reason why I keep pushing for this, the consistent point I think that nobody can really argue is that it's just like the author made this girl. He made, a certain hair color, made, her eyes a certain color, her skin a certain color, her boobs a certain size, whatever, right? It's like, okay, now what? Like is this like what are you gonna tell this artist? Is this like, are you telling this artist like, oh, you like big boobs? Like, how dare you, kind of thing? It's just like, again, like, we're just not going. But the thing I want to also kind of shift this sort of discussion was that, like, Uzaki-chan, I think both in the manga, which I've read a little bit of, and the anime, doesn't really focus on the boobs or whatever at all. It's just like 90% of the shots are her face or like the protagonist's face, right? It's like like 90% of the shots I've seen are all like, it's like the top half of her head or like just a zoom in of her head or whatever, right? Because it's like she's always being like, oh man, precocious, right? Or like, like being nosy or whatever, right? And
Yeah,
she's
I
doing the
mean,
mischief stuff.
realistically, the
So it's like
only
no
full like
boobs in it.
the only chest focus shots in the show so far, and I'm all caught up save for one episode now, is
Yeah.
has been
It's like a massage
maybe
chair.
like 3 or 4
Yeah.
that have just been like maybe a minute long bit, and that's
Yeah,
about
the
it. Like,
usual like, oh, it's
including
a
one of
massage
them that's
chair,
like
like,
10
yeah.
seconds long, where she first meets like um the cafe owner guy, the old man,
Mhm.
and he's like, oh, is this like a middle schooler? As it's like panning down to her chest, and he's like, never mind.
But yeah, it's very, and I don't know, it's very unfortunate that this is what things have come to, and it's like I just think it's very it,
I mean, and
again.
also if your fixed character designs were so fucking great, we would see more of them. So just gonna
It's
throw
just
that
like
out there.
it's like there's a difference between, again, like something like the obvious example is like Jim Crow or like, shows back then, right? Where it's like they're portraying stuff and it was kind of dealt with in a malicious, it was made in a malicious mood and a malicious atmosphere and portrayed in terrible ways. but it's like here it's just like it's not even again it has nothing to do with like race or like oh I want to fucking like make girls into my sex toys or whatever it is. It's just like he likes big boob girls, so he drew a big boob girl. It's like okay, sure. But anyways, there's not very much in terms of like actual boosting or anything. A lot of it's just like face shots. I think the series itself is honestly pretty straightforward. I really like it honestly because it's like how do I say this? It's like it has like the nice, obviously, going out and doing relaxing kind of stuff that's something like a slice of life, Demi-chan Kataritai, right? Or interviews with Demi-chans or something like that. And, other sort of, boy girl romance comedy slice of life stuff have. But it still has this like a slower pace, like something like a girls at a club kind of thing would have, right? Um, more recently Hokago Table Nishi or something like that. So it has like that slower pace, but it's not like one thing that I do want to say. Although I do generally love this genre where it's like four girls in a club doing trivia kind of stuff. Um, but one flaw that they do have is like a lot of it's kind of dependent upon certain developments to kind of speed up the pacing. Like, oh, this girl needs to finish her arc, or like we need to go over her background to go on, or like even within an episode, it's just like, oh, all the girls are gathered except for one, and it's got to be really slow until she barges in through the door, and it's this sort of like there are a lot of things in a four girls in a club arc or four girls in a club series or five girls in a club series, whatever, that's very dependent upon certain conditions to start making the pacing faster. But Uzaki-chan doesn't really have as many of those problems. So the pacing is pretty smooth all the way through. So I do like that. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say about Uzaki-chan. I just want to mainly bring up that like the discussion thing. It's just like I think it's silly, and I mean, if you guys, I just want to say like if people think this is bad, like I assure you, you
The
don't want
hole
to
goes
read
deeper, friend.
the yeah. Like I don't think people like especially like when we talk about stuff like Uzaki-chan or like what's the worst that we've had so far? It's like Goblin Slayer and like Shield Hero, right? That's honestly the worst we've had so far, right? In terms of like people being like Japanese people made this kind of stuff, right? Is would you say? Oh wait,
Or like
interspecies
Not
reviews,
really,
right?
for like a
no.
TV anime, I don't know.
Yeah, like
We've
Goblin
had
Slayer, interspecies reviewers, and
I'm
Shield Hero, whatever parts, right?
I'm trying to think. There's definitely been other shit that people have been like
Hajime Togi no Gal flew under the radar, but I wouldn't
completely
want to
up
say
in
that's a little bit.
arms about
It's a bit
for
racy.
like I don't know,
About what?
actual like not really commentary, but more focusing on like sexualization. There's definitely been series we've covered, but I can't honestly think of them because
I mean, there
who
are
cares at
obviously
the end of the
worse
day?
series out there, but like the problem is
I mean,
people don't people
I
don't
think
really
there are.
care, right? Because the only series that people start to get fucking outraged over are the ones that like are really popular, like Goblin
Yeah,
Slayer.
I mean, I think there's
Yeah.
always like every once in a while there's stuff like Asuna or there's something like what is it like the old classic or not old but it's like classic from about a decade plus ago was it was like the whole like Orihime versus Rukia thing in Bleach, right? It's like, oh, Rukia is such a strong woman, and Orihime is just not doing anything, haha, and all that bullshit, right? So there's always going to be stuff like that across series, but I just want to say in terms of like not even like the whole like strong woman versus weak woman, it's almost just like the whole like Japan makes some bullshit, and then Western people are like, they wrote that and they made it into an anime, and Japan's like, what do you want? Like this sells, right? But
Yeah.
I think so far, at least recently, I think the most controversial right? Like most like in front controversial probably have been interspecies, Goblin Slayer, Shield Hero. Am I right? But I want to say if this is like the standard that we're getting outraged over, if Uzaki-chan, Goblin Slayer, whatever is the standard, like you guys haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah.
The depths of Shosetsu, and remember, Shosetsu is a different beast just by virtue of the fact that excuse me, just by virtue of the fact that freaking Japanese publishing companies send their editors to search for popular Shosetsu art like stories and have them published, right? Like officially published. It's not like fanfiction.com or .net where you know, Twilight is like a once in a blue moon kind of deal, and even Twilight was shitty, right? It's like people like there are companies where they have departments where they're like, okay, you're the editor, right? Go out, browse Shosetsu, browse Shosetsu, and bring me the most like the top 10 bookmark series or whatever, and
Yeah, the most
call
profitable
them.
series.
Yeah, exactly. And they are all like, and like half these Shosetsu stories are all like, I hypnotized my girlfriend into becoming my meat toy, and then I fucked her for like a week. It's like all this bullshit, right? It's very. Believe me, this is Goblin Slayer, Shield Hero. All this is the tip of the iceberg.
When's Goblins or when's Shield Hero season 2? Isn't that coming out soon?
I
I'm
don't know.
not sure.
I don't know about soon with what's going on, but
Yeah. Oh, ReZero is coming out soon though.
It's already out, isn't it?
yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah, I
been,
did.
Yeah, I thought it was
uh,
already like almost done.
I haven't been seeing anybody talk about it though. So
No one cares about that because Kirito's finally awake. The true black
true.
swordsman has returned.
Anyways, that was all I had for Uzaki-chan. And without further ado, we are moving on to the news. We have pretty standard news today, actually. Oh, can I actually read this ranking thing that Toast posted me? I did promise him that I'd read it out loud here.
I don't making any promises.
This says anime corner top 10 anime of the week. I don't know where they got the there was a site called polls.animecorner.me, and they based the total votes from 7,300 respondents. So obviously a good
Big
chunk
pool.
of the known Earth.
Yeah.
Number
Basically
one.
like 50% of the known population.
Yeah, exactly. Number one, as expected, ReZero starting life in another world season 2 at 14% of the vote, 14.62% of the vote. Number two, Sword Art Online Alicization War of the Underworld
Kirito's
final.
back, baby.
Baby. Number three, Rent a Girlfriend. Number four,
Ugh.
My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu Climax, also known as Oregairu, final season probably. Number five, The Misfit of the Demon King Academy.
Yikes.
Number six, Uzaki-chan. Number seven, Decadence. Number eight, Fire Force. Number nine, the Millionaire Detective Bounce Unlimited. What Nero just went over. Fugou Keiji Unlimited. And number 10, Food War Shokugeki no Sama Season 5.
Yeah, I don't know why it's localized as millionaire, by the way, because literally in the very first episode, he spends over $1 billion.
Yeah,
But,
I just. Anyways, that was an interesting ranking. But moving on, we have some pretty standard news today. A couple of I'm gonna start off with some like weird company news here and there. First off, the Society for the Promotion of Japanese Animation, or SPJA, announced on August 18th that it has transitioned to become a 501c3 charitable and educational organization effective January 1st, 2020. The organization stated that it was a formerly 501c6 trade association, but the Internal Revenue Service officially approved the transition on May 12th. SPJA stated that it has been in transition to this new categorization since last year, and also that as a nonprofit, it is quote unquote dedicated to educating the public about Japanese animation and pop culture. I believe there are some more tax benefits, obviously, by being a charitable organization, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't know, SPJA also runs Anime Expo, I believe. So, I guess some tax benefits, although it's a little bit sketchy that the people running Anime Expo is known as charitable organization. But it is what it is, I guess. Next. Crunchyroll, our favorite localization company and creator of Crunchyroll originals. Crunchyroll announced new membership tiers for its streaming service on Monday.
Oh,
Bro, why
baby.
would they do this?
The
Because it's time
website.
to give more
Nice.
money to the industry. And by the
Wait.
industry, I mean
Wait, listen up. It gets worse.
no one.
The website will have 4 tiers in the United States: free fan, mega fan, and ultimate fan, and effectively 3 tiers in other English-speaking territories: free fan and mega fan. What the?
What is effectively 3?
There are only, I guess. The company will implement the new tiers worldwide in early September. Blah blah. The free tier will continue to require no payments and has advertisements 1 week after their new simulcast episodes will be available 1 week after their premieres. The fan tier costs $8 per month, similar to the current premium membership. This tier has no advertisements, and all new simulcast episodes will be available to users as they premiere, so you can watch lovely Crunchyroll anime localized on their lovely player
Yeah, it
that
doesn't
doesn't
have
work
ads,
half the
but
time,
yeah, then their player will
and
just
with their
proceed
wonderful
to
subbing.
crash 5 times
Yes.
during your watch session anyway. So
The mega
don't worry
fan,
about that.
the mega fan tier costs $10 per month, and it includes all features from the fan tier. And in addition, this tier enables offline viewing and access to 4 stream. What does that mean, offline viewing?
I
Like
guess you can download it,
download? Okay, sure.
which is usually standard for most subscription services anyway. But
Yeah, and access to 4 streams at once. What does that mean, though? Like
4
family stuff,
streams at
like
once. Yeah,
like
I guess
Netflix.
like 4 different people
like
can be on
4
the same
different
exact.
Yeah,
devices?
like you know how you
Yeah.
know how if you, on your
Yeah.
Netflix account you can like do
Yeah.
files and shit.
Yes,
It's
I
probably
get
like that. Although I don't know whether I don't
In the
know.
United States, members will also be able to get a delectable $15 US discount off a $100 US purchase every 3 months on the Crunchyroll store. Excellent. In the
Whoa,
United States,
dude.
the ultimate
They
fan tier
have like
costs
shitty figures once a year. Cool.
uh, the ultimate fan tier costs $15 per month, and it will include everything from the fan tier. It will also include offline viewing and access to 6 streams at once. Blah blah, more discounts. In addition, members will receive an annual Ultimate Fan member swag bag and access to exclusive member-only merchandise.
Wow.
Excellent.
Like
If
what?
you
Member
don't-
only merchandise.
if you
That's gonna be
watch,
so shitty. Like,
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be like loot crate shit.
yeah.
yeah,
And
it's-
also, like, do they expect to make more money with these? Because I can only see this working in their, like, against them entirely. You
I
already
mean,
have people,
they'll
like,
make money.
I feel like you're
People
just gonna get
buy.
people who are just like, yeah, you guys just want to split this fucking membership 6 different ways and we just share the account. Like, I really don't see this being utilized by people who are actually subbed to Crunchyroll. Especially when their argument the entire time is just like, oh, it's cheap.
I
Well,
don't know.
$15 a
Piracy,
month
guys.
ain't
It's
fucking
not
cheap
piracy.
cheap anymore, bud.
I
Piracy.
mean, I don't know how many like houses outside of like fucking what college dorms require like multiple anime streams going at the same time.
I need
like-
to watch Crunchyroll across all my tablets. Okay.
No, but I mean, like, if you just have friends who just, like, in general, are just like, yeah, you want to just split Crunchyroll
I
membership.
guess. I don't know.
Also, if you have offline viewing, can you just copy and paste this?
Because,
to,
yeah, like a 4, like,
No.
4,
I don't know how I don't know how Netflix does it, but I think you basically need like you still need like to
you
be
have the
in.
app or something. Or is
Yeah,
that-
because with Netflix it's with the app. I don't know how Crunchyroll is gonna do it, but like I'm pretty sure with Netflix you open up the Netflix app and then you
Mhm.
download the movie for offline viewing, but like you still have to open the Netflix app to watch it offline. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck Crunchyroll is gonna manage. that.
Anyways, Crunchyroll has lovely
Also, if
subs and a lovely
anyone
player.
ever fucking says that that's a benefit of a fucking Crunchyroll membership, I'm going to shoot them in the fucking face.
Yeah.
Is
Oh,
it-
it's a benefit. I download the anime from Crunchyroll to watch it offline now. Like,
Yeah, because
It's
that way you
illegal download.
just
you
go,
literally
just
might as
go
well just
fucking
pirate,
download
bro.
it. Like, yeah, like, what the
It's
fuck
literally
is your
easier.
point? Yeah, it's actually easier to use and more user friendly to just fucking get it off of Nya or something.
Yeah.
Remember, guys, if you love Crunchyroll subs and you love their lovely player and you love the fact that they give exactly 100% of their money to all of the suffering Japanese artists out there, then please subscribe to Crunchyroll Ultimate Fan to get that ultimate swag bag as well. This the swag bag thing reminds me of time I went to conventions.
Once a year too. Like that's so
Yeah,
dog
annual.
shit.
Exactly.
Really bad.
Annual swag bag.
Unless there's like figures and shit in there.
Holy fuck.
It was like an
Swag.
anime like convention thing, and I got a swag bag, and then I got there was like a Batman figure inside. I was like, oh okay, this wasn't what I expected.
Yeah.
Anyways, next, this is pretty funny actually. If you guys have been uh, viewing for the last couple of episodes, you guys know that I've been kind of on the warpath with regards to this topic. But manga translation and typesetting company Amimaru released a formal statement on Friday regarding pay rates for contractors in response to accusations on social media that the company pays typesetters as little as $1 per page. Holy shit.
Bro.
Holy shit. Amimaru asserts that the rates vary depending on the workload and scope of the project, sure, and they pay quote unquote all of our agreed compensation in an appropriate manner.
My
And
ass, dude.
independently confirmed that multiple typesetters are paid 110 yen or $1 per page. Well, $1.25, $1.50 US dollars per page for translation, and 13 cents per page for quality checking. Jesus fucking Christ.
It's so
And
bad, bro.
and it is also confirmed that are we like what is this like Trinidad Tobago? Like what the fuck is going on right now? And it is also is like Ivory Coast. Also confirmed that another typesetter was paid $1, $1 for every page of an entire book. A typesetter confirmed with ANN that the rate did go up based on difficulty, but was limited to type. But the difficulty variation was limited to typesetting on color pages. Anything not in full color is not considered difficult for the bonus.
What the fuck?
uh, uh, Amimaru project documents indicate that chapters rank 4 to 5, level 4 to 5 in difficulty. I don't know what that is. Included a 25% pay increase or delectable
Whoa.
$1.28 US dollars per page.
Oh man. I love when they throw out percentages like as if like,
Yeah, like
25%, wow, big number. It's
wow,
like, yeah,
25% boost
they're
of
already
$1.
making no money. That was like the fucking Blizzard bonuses of 50%, and it's like 60 cents more.
At the maximum number of
Whoa.
pages completed at normal difficulty, a typesetter would earn approximately around 285 US dollars a month.
Living
Additionally,
big,
freelance
boys.
project members are not allowed to identify which projects they worked on due to Amimaru's Why do they have non-disclosure
Why did
agreements for freaking translation company? Wait, and they're not credited in the release series? Oh
That's
my
good.
God.
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
thinking this is a good job. I'm thinking this is a good foot in the door.
By the way, I just want to repeat that a lot of related quality assurance editing, like English editing, and translation jobs in like the actual market, and by actual market I mean like professional translators and stuff like that. Um, they earn
They make big bucks, dude.
they have an average of around 44 to 45K, and that was like this was data from like I want to say 2 to 3 years ago that I pulled up.
Yeah.
So I want to say that like translators actually like proper translation jobs actually get paid proper money. Editing jobs get paid proper money at newspapers and so on. QA people, obviously with like games and stuff like that, is sketchy. But like in terms of again like revision editing of papers and stuff like that, in the States at least, they get proper money. And so this is not some sort of like, oh, well, translation. It's not like some like fine arts meme shit where it's like, oh, these artists shouldn't get any. No, there are precedents for people getting money. So, stuff like Amimaru not giving people money, stuff like Crunchyroll, who was also blown up on Twitter a couple of months ago, right, for not giving people money and buying a stupid fucking office that looks like a concrete block. They are examples of the companies being terrible. They are not examples of translation jobs being paid poorly. Translation jobs should be paid normal fucking wages like a lot of other regular jobs. So,
Inspired.
yeah.
What? $80 an episode isn't enough for you? It's literally 20 minutes.
You work 23 hours to translate
It's
stuff?
20
Sorry.
minutes, bro. Like, what are you doing? 20 minutes of work
Just
for 80
translate that
bucks?
in like
That's
an hour, bro.
yeah, that's like $240. Translate it in 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
You fucking type
yeah.
as you watch it. Like, get to see the episodes early. Like, come on.
Yeah, you just come on. We gotta have this for the simulcast now. But yeah, very unfortunate, and I hope companies like this, Amimaru, Crunchyroll, the other, obviously there are going to be other translation companies. I've heard Yen Press is okay, but I don't know what their rates are exactly. But I haven't really heard any like big complaints or anything like that from about Yen Press. Although I've heard that the types of people that they hire can be quite variable. But that's can be a little bit more expected since they're a bigger company. But yeah, again, I hope just conditions just improve. Next, this is a little bit of surprising news. Again, we don't usually announce anime or like manga stuff like that, or novels stuff like that, because there's like a billion of those types of news. But this one is quite big, so we thought we'd go with it. Unofficial Twitter account for Suzumiya Haruhi no Yutsu, or the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya franchise, opened on Monday and announced that Kadokawa will publish a new novel in author Tanigawa and Nagaru and illustrator Itonoizi's original novel series on November 25th. The new novel titled Suzumiya Haruhi no Chokkan, or the Intuition of Haruhi Suzumiya, will be the first new installment in the novel series in 9.5 years.
Wow, that's an entire generation of anime viewers.
It's the post Haru wasteland.
Wow, that's an entire Rail Deck season gap. My God.
It's yeah. So there were already I believe 11 different novels between 2003 and 2011. I assure you, they were not all that great. But yeah, there's a new one coming up, and not only that.
How dare you?
That's true. I apologize. Also, this is more important for obviously our viewers and English, speakers, stuff like that. But Yen Press announced on Monday that it will actually digitally release the Intuition of Haruhi Suzumiya Haruhi no Chokkan, the first new installment in blah blah, all this thing, and it's actually Yen Press is going to release it simultaneously alongside the Japanese release. So that's actually pretty exciting, to be honest. Hopefully it's translated properly, but definitely exciting to be able to get that. It required Harui to do it, but I mean, that's a good start as any, right? For a simul release.
Yeah, hurry sucks.
We don't want to get hate bombed here.
I had to say it.
Anyways, next piece of news, some award stuff. The Harvey Awards, which honors outstanding work in comics and sequential art, revealed its list of nominations for this year's awards on Monday. The nominees for Best Manga category include H.P. Lovecraft, the manga adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's At the Mountains of Madness by Tanabe Go, The Man Without Talent by Tsugi Yoshiharu, The Poe Clan by Hagio Moto, The Way of the House Husband by Ono Kosuke, I believe I've heard of that before, or we talked about that before. And Witch Hat Atelier by Shirahama Kamome. The Harvey Awards added.
I
Yes.
really need to read this.
Yeah, I've heard of that too, actually. The Harvey Awards added the best manga category in 2018. Nagata Kabi's My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness manga, I believe we have also talked about that on the show, won the first award in this category, and Horikoshi Kohei's My Hero Academia won the award last year. Again, not too surprising. Blah, blah. And then, let's see, 3 manga titles ranked on the New York Times monthly graphic novel books and manga bestseller list released in early September. There was the usual stuff. My Hero Academia by Horikoshi Kohei, Kotoge Koyoharu's Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, and interesting Venus in the Blind Spot by Junji Ito, taking a number 15 on the list. So pretty interesting. Moving on to the people news here. Miyazaki Hayao, the grumpy old man we all know and love. The Calcutta Memorial Film Institute named Studio Ghibli co-founder and animating director Miyazaki Hayao as the recipient of the 38th Annual Calcutta Award on August 26th, named for the late film producer Nagamasa Calcutta, his wife Kashiko, and daughter Talco. The award is given to individuals whose body of work contributed greatly to developing the art and culture of Japanese cinema, or opens the doors for international exchange through film. So obviously not too surprising that Miyazaki-san won that. Right now he is
Took him a while.
directing his next feature film, Kimi Tachi no wa Dou Ikiru ka, or How Do You Live, which we've talked about at some length on this show. Studio Ghibli producer Suzuki Toshio reported that the film was about 15% complete at the end of October last year, after 3.5 years of production, mainly
So
because
we're like 20 now.
yeah, I believe what is it? The main cause of the drag down was like, what was it? Miyazaki wanted to draw all the storyboards by himself or some bullshit like that,
Yeah.
right? So that was how it went. So it'll be it'll keep going for like another 3 years, and then it'll get delayed, and then Miyazaki will die. He'll come back as a ghost, and then he'll finish off the storyboards. So we'll see it in like 2050 or something.
Yeah.
So expect to see that soon. Next, a little bit of sobering news. Science fiction author Yamamoto Hiroshi confirmed that he is safe on August 20th after posting tweets earlier that hinted at suicide. He acknowledged that he had considered suicide, but talking to his wife and daughter changed his mind. He also thanked his friends and people who sent him encouraging messages. So I believe this is the author who actually doesn't have much long to live, but then he was also considering suicide or something like that, right? Yeah, Yamamoto revealed afterward in the new edition of his Project Piano novel in March earlier this year that he has been suffering from cerebral infarction since 2014. In the afterward, Yamamoto enjoined readers to treat the novel as his quote-unquote last will and testament as a quote-unquote hard sci-fi writer. So, again, very unfortunate that he has this condition, but it is good that he is not. He was persuaded away from suicide. It's never good to lose talents like this. Next, very unfortunate piece of news. The editorial department for Kodansha's monthly Shonen magazine announced on Saturday that manga creator Eguchi Kose passed away on August 19th at the age of 23. The statement did not give a cause of death. However, he was hospitalized on August 17th. Eguchi debuted as a manga creator under the pen name Peo with the Boy Meets Maria manga in 2018. And then he launched the Kimi Alive manga on October 29th in monthly Shonen magazine. And it was ongoing until obviously now. Condolences to his friends and family. The official website for actress and model Shinato Ruri's agency, gstar.pro, announced on Monday that Shinato passed away suddenly at her home due to chronic illness on August 28th at the age of 31. Again, very unfortunate. They didn't give an exact cause, but they did say it was a chronic illness. She played various, live action stage play stuff. And yeah, please wish condolences to her friends and family. And I believe that is all the news we have for today, or yeah, for these past 2 weeks. Pretty standard news again, as per usual. And all we have left now is our ever long awaited, our venting time, our shoutouts and callouts. So everybody gets one shout out, one call out each. Shout out is something that you want to praise, give 5 out of 5. Write down paragraphs upon paragraphs of compliments on Yelp.com. Some can be something, just any person, place, or thing that you want to compliment, talk well about, whatever. And obviously, call out is the exact opposite. Some person, place, or thing, anything that you want to insult, talk trash about, whatever it is. And I guess we'll start with toast.
Time for
Toasty.
shout outs and calls? Yeah, all right.
Yes.
Shout out
Mhm.
to all the Hololivers that came back or are debuting.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I wish happy fortunes and welcome back.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out, call out. I already called that out earlier. I'll do it again, but also I don't know. Yeah, that's it. My call out's already been said. You ruined someone's career for a little bit of clout.
Yeah. No. Very unfortunate again. But Nier, what is your shout out call out? Nier is also dead.
Damn, he dead.
Dark. Then do you want to go with your shout outs and call outs?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, my shout out is gonna be to Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 remake. That shit's fun. It's probably one of the best like remaster remakes I've seen and played to date. It just has good more shit in it. Like there's no I don't know, man. It's pretty awesome.
Okay.
It's really good.
And
My
your
call
call
out
out?
is my call out is similar vein to Toast. It's gonna be to people who mostly like just in general, but also like mostly non-Japanese people who buy into fucking idol culture and like way too much into like the Hololive shit and just VTuber shit now.
Well, I
'Cause-
think it's also if you don't mind me interrupting, I think it's and it keeps emphasizing this, and I don't think people quite understand, but it's like even when I say it sometimes, I know like a lot of people like you guys and obviously the viewers who are in the stream understand when I say this, but there are a surprising number of people when I say this they just don't get it. But it's like when we say Twitch or YouTube or just like internet stuff, channels, whatever, right? We view it as a platform, right? There's a person, they're doing some message, whatever, right? They're doing their shit. Maybe they're friends with some other people, but it's like a general kind of like, oh yeah, they're friends, and then they sometimes do collabs, stuff like that, right? When Japanese people or Korean people or Chinese people, a lot of that sort of the general sort of Southeast Asian, whatever, East Asian sort of cultures, when they talk about Twitch or Nico Nico or OpenRec or Africa or Bilibili or whatever, right? They are talking not about platforms, but about communities. And the difference specifically, a lot of people might be like, well, what's the difference? It's like, there are a lot of people who in the West are friends with each other. That's community, blah, blah. The difference is that when we say it's community, they slash we, whatever, usually talk about rules, right? There are sort of not even rules, but it's like manners, right? Etiquette to follow, right? Like you don't go into a group of people and you just, you crack like a dead baby joke or something like that, right? You have to kind of read the atmosphere, right? And a lot of times people, especially those I do want to say coming in from the West into these VTuber, Hololive streamer, whatever communities, tend to not be able to read the mood. They just kind of, they're like, oh, I have these values. Why don't you have these values? Uh, I hate this thing about you. Why don't you fucking change it? Why don't you speak English or Portuguese or whatever, or, German or whatever language, right? It's like, well, this is the community, right? You gotta follow the etiquette, right? They have these sorts of soft rules that they have, and it's expected for you to keep them and not for the streamer to change just because one person in the chat is being like, speak English, stupid idiot, or whatever it is, right? So
I don't know. For me, it's
I
mostly
think
like just
I think you
seeing
mean
like
speak
comments on
Spanish.
the
It's Spanish, not
alloy
English.
shit, like just like seeing like Westerners or like just non-Japanese viewers also just be like, well, it sucks that she had to graduated like so soon, and but I really wish her like better in the future and shit like that. It's like, no, just be pissed off. Like, don't call
yeah,
it graduating. Like, it's not.
yeah,
She
she
fucking
she should have
quit
picked up.
because she got harassed out of the position. Like, call it what it is. Like, the
Yeah,
Japanese viewers and shit, like, whatever. Like, they're gonna do what they fucking
they're
do.
gonna
But,
yeah
like,
they're gonna
what
do what they
pisses
do.
me off when, like, fucking Westerners or just non-Japanese people try and, like, play this bullshit pretend that's in this culture that's not even their own. Like, we don't need to do that. There's no precedent for us to even adopt that, so don't. Like, don't play into the shit of just being like, this is somehow, and like any of this situation is good. Like,
Mhm.
there's something good about it and positive about it. Because there are literally comments that like just use the positive connotation of like graduate for one, and then follow it up with like, well, hope things will be better in the future for her. It's like, well, the fact that you're like kind of not even really considering this anymore already just means it's like, no thing. Why would things ever get better for any situation like this in the future for someone? Like, realistically, her voice actor like can just not work now in this industry. Like, really ever again. Like, it's gonna be hard as fuck.
Well, she'll, yeah, it's not gonna be great because it's like a lot of
People will
the,
snipe it immediately. Like,
yeah,
they'll
the
be
people,
able to
yeah,
tell right
yeah,
away.
that's the big thing. People will snipe her. It's very unfortunate.
And I
I
mean,
mean,
plus, it's
the
like,
main
even if
question
you
is
were,
whether she even wants to. Like,
yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
that's the other thing
she'll
too.
probably
like
have
it's
to
Like,
come back
obvious.
regardless, but it's like,
I mean, maybe, but it's obvious that like it's obvious she left because she was just like, yeah, I don't want to fucking do this,
yeah.
right?
But I mean, what I hate too, like that's another aspect too, is what I hate is like a lot of people were like, well, if it's her decision, it's like, yeah, it's her decision, but don't swipe under the rug why she made that decision. Like, let's not pretend that this was like her decision just because she got like suspended for 2 weeks and was like, you know what? No, I don't feel like doing this. Like that, because that's what a majority of like the highest rated comments I've seen are like nothing calling out anything. And it's just fucking annoying, especially to see like non-Japanese people do this.
it is unfortunately, again, very unfortunate.
But also
Yeah.
nice to see Nene refusing to remove her art from her banner. Pretty cool.
Ah, jeez. Anyways, thank you, Dark, for your shout out and call out. And Nier, what is your shout out called?
I don't know, man. Everything fucking sucks.
I mean, I don't believe you've changed from.
Country.
This guy doesn't own Tony Hawk. Yikes.
What?
Uh huh.
Didn't they take out was it Bam Margera?
Yeah, Bam's not in it.
Yeah.
Element's in it though. I don't know why Bam isn't.
I don't know if Bam is like.
Is he a part of Element anymore?
I
Does
don't
he
know
not
if
own
Bam
it
is a part of
anymore?
Element anymore. But anyway.
Damn.
I don't know, dude. I just don't know anymore, man.
I just don't know anymore, man.
Yeah. I am gonna call out. Fuck. I don't know. Everything's bad. There's too much bad. I guess I'll call out Nintendo again.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah. So Nintendo like recently had a direct that was full of like pointless shit. As usual. They announced a fucking like a Mario like battle royale like speedrun thing, which is fucking gay. I think they announced some like mobile game thing for Mario 2, which is fucking gay. But they I guess like I guess the biggest thing they announced was like a collection of Mario games, right? For the Switch, and it's a collection of Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy, right? Three very big games. And it's $60, right? Which is
Oh, yeah, I saw
a little much for
that.
considering the fact that they aren't being graphically updated at all. Mario 64 apparently runs at 720p. And on top of that, it is a limited release. Apparently, like after like March, it's just gone. Like you won't be able to buy it ever again.
Okay.
So that's really cool. And a recent thing that I got into a bit of a online uh, argument with is that apparently Mario Sunshine, um, which if you don't know, originally released on the GameCube, right? Um, apparently the Switch version will not support the GameCube controller. Which, if you didn't know, the Switch literally has an adapter specifically for the GameCube controller, so you can use your GameCube controller with like Smash, right? And like Nintendo hasn't even put in enough effort to like flip a switch and be like, yeah, this fucking peripheral that we've literally sold, uh, like hundreds of thousands of, and we literally have an adapter for on this console. Yeah, we're just not going to support it for the game that like literally released on that platform. Um, just really shows how fucking lazy Nintendo is and how they'll just like shit out like fucking nostalgia bait garbage and people will just eat it up regardless of anything. But yeah, fuck Nintendo. As for shoutouts, I genuinely don't know.
Gotta be happy.
Why do you think there was no Sunshine 2 and only one? Did Sunshine 2 suck?
No, I think they were just. I mean,
Or did they
Nintendo.
re-release it recently?
What?
What do you mean?
There is no Mario Sunshine
There's
2.
no
Or
Sunshine
not
2.
Sunshine 2, Galaxy 2, I mean.
Probably because. I mean, Mario Galaxy 2 is really good. In my opinion, better than 1. But like, it probably just doesn't look as like marketable to have like, you know, Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and then Galaxy 1 and 2. Just kind of weird looking. And
Tony Hawk 1 and 2.
it's probably because Nintendo's planning on reselling Super Mario Sunshine 2 like on the eStore or some shit anyway for like $40. I don't know.
Either that or they'll fucking sell 2 of them singularly after the thing is done, and then Galaxy
Yeah,
1 and 2
maybe.
in a fucking pack
Who knows?
for another $60. You know.
But yeah. For shoutouts, I mean,
Tell us about
you
your
know,
country, Near. How much do you love your country?
um,
Your non-Trump filled country.
my, I mean, our prime minister is still involved in like
The blackface
a
stuff.
literally unprecedented scandal. He's like literally the first prime minister in our country's history to violate
Geneva Convention.
the Charter of Ethics.
Oh,
So that's cool. But other than that, I mean, things are fine. Our economy's crashing, you know, the usual. Shoutouts to Shadowverse, I guess, as usual. It's fun. This expansion is starting to, or the mini expansion, I guess, is starting to get fucking annoying. But you know, new expansion should be end of the month, which is cool. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. What do I have? I don't think I have too much. My shout out actually goes to these packages actually for arriving earlier than I expected.
what'd you order?
I ordered a lot of stuff. I ordered the phone. I ordered like earbuds. I ordered the weighing scale. I ordered
Did you
like
get Ray Bans?
no, I
No, not Ray Bans. Ray Cons. There you go.
don't know what those are.
Is that the what's the fancy earbuds? The wireless ones.
Oh, okay, no. I got something else, but anyways, so I pretty much am set for now. I just need to. Well, I have some other stuff I need to buy, but that's neither here nor there. But what was I gonna say? My call out, and I don't want to have to. I don't want to have to repeat this too much, but it's like, I mean, especially after reading the whole like, I don't know, it's just like I wanted to. There's so many things to shout out actually, but it's like I want to say like the general like Western sort of community with regards to dealing with Japanese media, right? Whether it's anime or whether it's VTubers or whatever it is, right? Manga translation, etc., etc., etc. Um, let's get it together, guys. Right? Like, it's fucking. It's been so many years since we started out with Viet Thai subs, yellow subs, whatever bullshit on
Or
VTubers.
Chinese subs. Oh yeah.
Can we it's 2020. Can we get to the point where like we have decent like translators and we pay translators if they're professionals, if we pay them properly, like regular fucking wages in the US, and then we
No,
when we see Japanese people doing stuff, or not even Japanese, just like in general, like X culture doing stuff, we're like, yeah, I can understand where they came from. Like, they can still have egregious things, right? Like, if they are like, if they espouse a view like, or if they keep drawing stuff like, wow, black men are, stupid jungle dwellers, or if they draw some bullshit like that, or if they're like, oh, the Holocaust didn't exist, or the fucking imperial Japanese samurai were the best fucking pure blah blah blah. Like, sure, there are obviously criticisms that we can make, like objective criticisms that we can make, and we should call them out for it, or whatever it is, right? Um, but like bullshit like this, like where it's like, oh, you drew some
you
cartoon
drew a
character
woman?
with big
Cancelled.
boobs and stuff like that, or like, you know, I can't believe.
Sorry, pal. The only
stream-
women with breasts that big are the ones that I follow on OnlyFans. Okay.
Yeah.
What about Van Darkholm? He's on
You've seen
OnlyFans now.
Conan though. You've seen fucking Sugar and Noel, it's real. But anyways.
Whoa, you don't talk about that here.
But it's like when we see like some sort of like Asian streamer or whatever, we're not just like jumping on whatever bullshit news or whatever. And it's like again, you just gotta can we be adults here? Like I know the average demographic of the HoloLive viewer or the VTube viewer, or the anime translator, or the people running Crunchyroll, the CEOs of Crunchyroll. I know like their collective age, like average age, is about like 13. But like, can we act a little bit more mature here? Is this like a thing that I can ask? That'd be nice. But yeah, that was my call out. Pretty large call out, but it is what it is.
Hey, Spire, how does it feel knowing that some of the HoloLive VTubers have better English than their English translators? Like Sivia and Artia.
It's pretty depressing, not gonna lie.
Artia learning all her English from a, what is it? From a Discord channel called Cancer Chat.
But anyways,
Arteal has learned the majority of her English from fucking Overwatch streams, dude.
That's
Like-
the real power move right there.
But yeah, anyways, oh yeah, there we didn't talk about this. I don't know if we need to have a big discussion about this, but Twitter is letting you block certain countries from seeing your tweets. And obviously people are crying about what if Japanese artists just block like the US or wherever, or English blah blah stuff like that, right? And it's like, again, we wouldn't even be talking about this if it wasn't for the fact that Western Twitter blows up whenever um a Pokemon character isn't drawn black enough, or there's a girl with too big of a boob, or whatever the fuck is going on, right? And it's like, oh my, yeah, there's most like an extension to get around already, but and we wouldn't even be talking about this or panicking or anything if we just were like sensible about this. But anyways, that is all of our shoutouts and callouts for today. And with that, we are done with our podcast. Next time, again, we are going to be heading straight into our preview show for fall 2020. So watch out for that. And that should, again, because of the pandemic, we might be doing a couple round. I keep saying round table discussions.
Not a roundhouse kick.
Yes, we are probably going to do a couple more round table discussions here and there before we head into our usual review sessions. But stick around for that. Stick around for our watch our previous show. Obviously, it'll be less busy than in previous preview shows, but we'll see how much we can make do with like 13 13 episode or 13 series. How many series is coming up this time around? Coming anime. Let's see this. I feel like there's not going to be that many. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Wow. Wait, 27, 20, 33. This is a regular season. What the fuck's happening here? Are they? Oh, is it because people are just going like being forced back to work anyways? Is this how it is? Oh no.
I guess. I mean, I don't really like blame Japan for trying to just like
more of this remote work. It could be remote work too. You know what I mean?
maybe yeah, studios are set up with remote work, but like again, I wouldn't really blame Japan for trying to just like go back to normal because like
Yeah.
honestly, let's be real. Pretty much every country in the world that isn't the United States like could probably start like just going back to normal.
Yeah, as long as they're careful. I mean, the problem is the second wave, right? But anyways, again, that's gonna
Yeah.
be that's neither here nor there. Oh, there's 2-year eternity. Okay, there's gonna be some pretty strong if everything goes correctly. If everything goes correctly, wow, right. This fucking series. Oh my god. This season looks really strong.
Yeah,
Or this,
dude. It's
yeah,
the
this
fucking
season looks
return
strong.
of Strike Witches, bro.
Hey, don't sleep on Strike Witches, motherfuckers.
I love Strike Witches,
Oh,
bro.
really? Okay.
Yeah, Strike Witches has sucked massive cock for years though. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
hopefully,
I kind of like Vivid Red a bit more,
yeah,
just for the
okay,
cool
Very
okay.
Red
transformations.
was refreshing. But yeah, there's a lot of strong series. But yeah. Anyways, so next time there'll be a pretty exciting preview show. I think of season, and again, we're crossing our fingers that everybody will be safe while working in these environments, and all these anime will come out, and it won't just be like, you know what I mean? It won't just be like one episode 1 month later, and then like they get canceled.
Yeah,
But yeah,
hopefully.
yeah, hopefully. So next time it'll be preview, and then we'll head straight on. I think if all the series come out as they say they'll come out, I think although a lot of them I think are coming out in October, right? Not in. Although no, we'll be having, yeah, a lot of them. Who will we be having? Let's see this here. I am opening up my calendar. My calendar is not opening up right now properly. What is this here? So we'll actually be just in time for to see the first episodes hit for a lot of these, is what it seems like. Yeah.
We
So
should we should all cover one spooky horror and anime because it's Halloween season.
yeah, but yeah, pretty exciting season coming up. Hopefully everything kind of lines up. I think our episodes will line up so that we'll have enough shows that people can or want to watch uh, by the time we hit our next podcast or next review podcast in October 3rd. So we'll see about that. But yeah, if you like what we do, please check us out on www.twitch.tv/4PlayerAnimecast, again with the number 4, where we stream our recording of the podcast every other Saturday, starting from 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can join us here. We chat about the latest and greatest Japanese animation, media, anime, manga, light novels, web novels, visual novels, so much more. Check us out here. You can check us out the VODs of our recordings, obviously the highlight clips of each episode. You can cover them here. You can go over on YouTube if you want that. We have them there as well. Check us on our social media on Facebook, 4PlayerAnimecast, and on Twitter at 4PPAnimecast for updates, news, and so much more. And yeah, we'll see you next time.